Well, that was probably the most reading intensive week I have had all year, and it felt so good. Hey Word Nerds, happy Tuesday. I hope you're all doing awesome so far this week. I am back from my honeymoon. I had a great time and I also read a lot of books. A couple of weeks ago, I did a video talking about my TBR for my honeymoon. I went a little off and read some different books along with a couple of the ones I had hoped to read, and I had some really awesome reading experiences. I read one book in basically one sitting. Another one I finished that I've been reading since early 2016. So I'm feeling pretty awesome right now and hoping this is the beginning of a new epic reading trend for me, but for now I wanted to talk to you guys about the books that I liked, the books that I loved, and the books that were just kind of eh. First up is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I will keep this review short and sweet because we did just cover this for our book club last Sunday, but I did really enjoy this book way more than I thought I would. I'd been avoiding reading it for some reason, maybe because the Grisha trilogy didn't really hit for me as well as I hoped it would, but I really enjoyed this book. It was a solid read. I loved having an ensemble cast who were all very layered and dynamic. Everything about this book was so great, and I'm dying to read book 2. I'm really glad I don't have to wait an entire year. It's already sitting on my bookshelf, so I can jump in pretty much whenever I'm ready. Then we have Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. This book was really interesting. It was post-apocalyptic, heavily based in Canada, and I'd heard so many people saying it was amazing, but it felt kind of flat for me. It was a 3-star read, if that. I just had trouble kind of getting through it. It was a quick read. I read it very quickly, and the characters were interesting, the pacing and timeline were interesting, but nothing about it really wowed me. It was just kind of predictable, and the characters could have given me more. I'd still kind of recommend it if you're looking for something different in the post-apocalyptic genre, but it wasn't a wow best read ever for me. Next up, we have The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Aber-Talley, which I read in one morning while Matt was sleeping in. I wasn't expecting to read this one, but I had an ARC on my Kindle, and the other books I was planning to read wouldn't download on my Kindle, so I figured I would just jump in, and I'm so glad I did because it was so great. This is a contemporary story kind of about unrequited love, although it didn't factor in as much as I thought it would, but basically the characters are amazing and the romances are amazing, and everything about this book was so great. It was 5 stars, a very fast read, and I highly recommend it. And finally, we have what I think was my biggest reading win of the week, and that was finishing Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I started this book in March of 2016. I was about halfway through it when I brought it on vacation, and I just wanted a book I could read by the pool without worrying about getting it damaged, so I figured I would bring this along, and then I just powered through the second half of the book. Because it took me so long to read, I can't rate this that highly, but it was a really interesting story with a unique magic system. I liked the characters, although I didn't fall in love with any of them, and I'm hesitant on picking up book 2 because book 1 did take me so long and it never truly hooked me, but the end of the book was more interesting than the beginning, and I'm curious to see where this goes next. But I'll also feel pretty okay if this is the only book in the series I ever read. I'm glad I finished it, it just wasn't as great as I was expecting it to be. So that's it for the books I read last week. I've already started reading Gemina, and I'm really enjoying that, and I hope this is the beginning of a beautiful summer reading binge where I just catch up on my TBR list, read a bunch of amazing books, and just never fall into a slump ever again. But we'll see how that goes. Let me know in the comments what you guys have been reading recently, and don't forget to join us on Sunday for our next live chat at 7:30 Eastern Time.